Welcome to WagerTalk Today, the gold standard of sports betting shows where we talk the talk and walk the walk. It is Monday, coming off a huge weekend. We're going to recap. We got plenty to break down. Gianni's going to start us off with the Steam Report. Krackman's going to join us with his legendary NBA props, thoughts on Monday Night Football. And Steve Merril is going to join us. We'll talk Eagles, Packers. We're going to talk a little college hoops with Mississippi State, Iowa State, and NBA Bucks versus Mavericks. Steve's got a loaded segment. This is going to be awesome. All right, let's get into it. Guys, hit the like button. Hope everyone had a great weekend. It was a really, really solid weekend across most sports for us. So hope everyone's doing well. And let's bring on Gianni, talk about what we got going on a little bit of a slower Monday. Gianni, I think it's just the weather. It's cold everywhere. It's cold everywhere.
Such a busy couple days. It's like everybody's taking a deep breath early in the morning Monday and getting ready for another big week. Again, with so many sports going on at the same time, it's always going to be enough action on the board. Monday Night Football tonight with huge line move. No surprise. A lot of sharp money came in on the Philadelphia Eagles at that key number of 3. Since then, you've been getting more Philadelphia money, adding risk. That's why you're looking at a pick 'em -1, depending where you shop. So obviously they're loaded up on Eagle money early and trying to get Green Bay action, help balance that risk. It'll probably happen. Green Bay at home at a pick 'em. I could see two-way sharp action because, again, +3 and pick 'em are two completely different bets, especially when you're talking NFL. As far as the total, primetime game, just like last night, they're coming back with the over. They didn't get there last night. So they're coming back on Monday night with the over, whether they're taking the Eagles or the Packers. I'm seeing teasers with the over, seeing parlays with the over. But yeah, it looks like by the time this game kicks off, it'll be a lot more balanced. But early on, the line move tells you everything. It's been a lot of Eagle money. And again, this is a revenge game from the playoffs of last year. If you remember, Eagles knocking Green Bay out of it. I think that game was like close spread too. So yeah, it'll be a tough game for both these teams. Big game for both these teams. But yeah, I haven't released anything yet. Time will tell.
Yeah. Yes, you're right. The over did not get there last night. The one time the score was 3-2. That's when you knew that the over was cooked.
Wasn't going to get there. Yeah.
So, it's interesting about the over money. I mean, it's cold. It is really cold up there. It's about 20 degrees by the time that game kicks off. It doesn't look like it's going to be too windy or snowy or rainy, but it's going to be pretty cold. So,
I think it's more recency because you look at the Eagles, they're coming off back-to-back games. I mean, 3 straight overs now. 5 of their last 6 games have flew over the total. They put 30 or more points up in 3 of those 5. They've let up 3 touchdowns or more in all 5 of those games. And Green Bay, except for last week where that was an ugly game with Carolina where they lost as 2 touchdown favorites, they had put up same thing, over, putting 27 or more points 4 straight weeks. 2 of those weeks, they put 30 or more. So I think it's a lot of recency bias with both of those teams. Again, the total hasn't really moved once it got to 46. The look ahead was like 44 and a half. It went up right away, 45 and a half. Once it hit 46, that's where it stayed. Haven't seen any really take back or anything of note from the sharps on that one.
All right. Let's see. Any interesting opening lines? We just watched Teddy do opening line report. Interested on your end about if you see any sharp action on some of these early lines.
No, I was actually looking at college football early because I always like to look at my power rankings and how those teams did that I thought were phonies. And then what they have this week, there's not really big, like marquee college football game. I was even looking like, is there a LSU Alabama type game, and there really isn't. But funny, that is one of the first bets that I saw in college football this week was Arkansas +6.5 over LSU in LSU. So that was a college football game of note in the SEC. Probably get most of the attention because, again, not too many primetime games. NFL, real quickly, Miami, who's coming off a big win, that look ahead got hit immediately. In fact, Washington were 1-point favorites against Miami. That was the look ahead prior to yesterday's game. So before Miami went out there and did what they did and beat Buffalo as touchdown dogs, and before Washington looked as bad as they did against Detroit, Washington was actually the favorite. Shows you just how quickly the market changes, because you're now looking at Miami at -2.5. And rest assured, they're going up to 3 pretty quickly. Other interesting is Green Bay already getting steam, and they haven't played yet. The look ahead for Green Bay next week against the Giants was 7. That's already gotten hit. Yesterday it got hit up to 8.5. So they laid that 7 on Green Bay before Green Bay even plays tonight. And then another one, San Francisco, which got blown out yesterday. Still coming back with them twice. That the look ahead was a pick that got hit to 1.5. That got hit again. So they like San Francisco on the road. Saw that in multiple accounts. And the last one, Kansas City Chiefs, that didn't get hit. Here's what I mean. It was the look ahead that got hit. That 2.5, 3 look ahead. They moved that pretty quickly because it's the Kansas City Chiefs. And that's a team that they're going to have exposure on week in, week out. That's sitting at 4 across the board. It'll be interesting to see if you get any love for the Denver Broncos as home dogs. Because up until about a week ago, Denver was one of those teams that at least was on the rise. Everybody was talking about, does this team have a shot? Are they legit? But yeah, you're seeing, immediate bets on some of these look aheads. But try to pay attention to, does it have follow through? That's where Odds Logic Screen, and at least the free one at WagerTalk, becomes so important.
Yeah, I mean, these are obvious reactions to quarterback play. Brian says Dart might be concussed. I would say Dart is concussed. I have no idea what they're doing on that team to keep sending him into linebackers like they do. But him getting hurt was the least surprising thing. And then, Yanni,
look at Denver. Denver very easily, other than they played one bad game where they lost by more than a score. That was in Indianapolis, and we all know how good Indianapolis is right now. Because, in fact, Denver was only a 1-point dog in that game. That wouldn't be the case now. But Denver has gone ahead and won, 7 straight games, 4-3 against the spread, which I like. They haven't outperformed the betting market. Where they have outperformed the betting market is not being able to win by margin. Like when they're favorites, as long as they're not big favorites, they're getting the job done. But when they're losing too, they're not losing by margin either. It's going to be interesting to see if Kansas City gets faded, because Denver's done real good with, at least of late. They've beaten them straight up, I think, 2 of the last 3 games, and covered 3 straight against Kansas City. So it'll be interesting to see if Kansas City looks to get revenge, because last year, remember, they sat everyone and Denver beat them 38-0. I think the last week of the season. So it'll be interesting if Kansas City's out for a little bit of revenge.
Yeah, I mean, there are so many holes you can poke in this Denver. I mean, barely beating the Raiders 10-7. Bo Nix looked terrible.
Exactly.
They barely beat the Texans when C.J. Stroud got hurt. But the Giants, that was a miracle of all miracles. When they scored 33 points in the 4th quarter. And then Bo Nix he just looked awful. So, yeah, they're winning. You're right. They're not covering. But I imagine this line move has a lot to do with eye test, because Bo Nix just looks like he's regressing.
I got to answer a question that just popped up. Financially Free. I love the question, my friend. I love the question. My man says, why not Wong teaser through some key totals? I'm going to explain something to you. Be very cautious of small sample sizes. That is the gambler's fallacy, where we see a small sample size of results and we think we found the holy grail edge. If you don't have a statistically significant sample size, there's a lot of randomness involved. So over 10, 20, 30 bets, teasing those totals may be advantageous, but I promise you, this isn't an opinion from Ace. This is math, strictly math-based. Men much smarter than me, sat down and did the computations, and they came to the conclusion that there is 0 way to get positive EV out of teasing totals. And I can promise you, they tried every possible way to find an edge. It's like with the teaser cards, parlay cards, half-point cards, ties win cards. Believe me, mathematicians have gone through every mathematical computation to make sure if there's any inefficient odds even, they're going to take advantage of it. And I can promise you, I've done nothing but move money for the most profitable sports bettors on the planet for 20 plus years. And only once in the last decade has anyone ever even teased college football. That happened last year in the playoffs. They don't even tease college football. They don't even think you could tease college football and make it profitable, let alone teasing. I mean, college football sides, forget total sides, but NFL totals, I'm telling you, brother, I'm glad you made some money with it. Be happy, move on with that profit, but don't keep placing those bets because they are negative EV.
Yeah, it's a really good point. I had no idea.
I love you, bro. I'm glad you beat your guy up financially. I'm on your side. I hope it keeps working for you, bro. I promise you. I want you to keep blasting him with them, but just be careful. When it stops working, just put that to the side and find something new.
I wonder why that is. Probably just the spreads can end up 20 points different, or just like you end up
total, and then when the games fall close, man, there's weeks where every total hits, every teaser hits. Don't matter what side you do, over, under, dog, favorite, that's going to happen. But again, if you're only betting that day, then who cares about long-term results? But if you're betting next week, next month, next year, you're going to keep betting, then you have to look for good bets. You know what I mean? But like if you're only placing one bet, then who gives a shit about closing line value? Who cares about shopping for the best line? The only thing you care about is cashing that damn ticket.
Absolutely. UFC, it happened again, Gianni. We had a big move close to $1. It was the Chris Padilla Bonfim fight. I mean, Bonfim's the favorite. He misses weight. He looks terrible. And all of a sudden, all this money comes in. It is rinse and repeat with this because the money told us a story. Chris Padilla gets the finish. And it's just like, this is just tried and true. This, at least just this year since I've been tracking it. After weigh-ins, you get that big aggressive move. It's like somebody knows something.
To it. Pay attention to it. Yeah. That's monitoring the market and taking advantage of information someone obviously has. Someone's doing really good after weigh-ins, and there's nothing wrong with telling it. I did that with the NFL draft the last 2 or 3 years. There's a particular sports book that someone bets into that happens to crush these NFL props. I wait till they bet, and then I take the next best line after them. I say, you go first, sir. You lay them 120. I'm okay with that. I'll piggyback the 150. I've got no problems doing that. I wonder if it's the guy that it's like in charge of the scale. It's like this random. We need to when someone gets on the scale and they miss, we need to look at the guy that's like, bro, there's a scale at the UFC Apex that they have with like 8 signs around it and tape stuff. Do not touch. Do not. And I always joke like I'm going to go touch that scale. It's like I swear, you think like it's got all kind of security around it. They have this scale sitting in the middle of the Apex that no one can touch and stuff. But yeah, you've seen in some commissions, some of those scales are a little shaky.
Oh yeah. They have 2 scales, like one is in the back for everybody and then one out front. And then nothing's more wild than when they don't match. When they say they make weight in the back.
Especially in other countries, dude.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We have Gianni, honestly, this is probably the best UFC card I've seen of the year, and we've had some really good ones coming up this week. This card is unbelievable. Capping off with Islam Makhachev versus Jack Della Maddalena. We're already getting questions about the main event. Initial thoughts here on what the line is. What's your take on the
thank you for asking. I actually taped the show on this last week when I taped at UFC for On the Line. We did for this one that just passed on Saturday. We taped double shows, so we did ahead this pay-per-view. So I had to break this card down already. I'm on an island. I'm telling you now. Sharp bettors, sharp guys like the Jack Della Maddalena side. They like him as a dog. I'm on the other side. I will not fade Islam Makhachev. And here's the bottom line for the reasoning behind it. I was riding Jack Maddalena. I thought he was undervalued. In fact, I had him against in his last fight with Belal Muhammad. I had him as a 2-to-1 dog. But let's not forget, against Belal Muhammad, he closed at plus 200. If Makhachev fought Bilal Muhammad tomorrow, the line that they have up right now, the hypothetical, is minus 500. So it shows you the difference in implied win probability between Makhachev and Bilal. But here's what's more important. When you break down that fight with Bilal and Jack Maddalena, here's what the mistake that I'm seeing a lot, I think, are making. Because they're saying, look, Bilal is the same as Islam. Same wrestling, even working out together, same team, and he wasn't able to take him down. The hell he wasn't. He took him down 3 times. He almost controlled him for a full round. He only landed 2 ground strikes. That's the difference. Bilal's there to take you down and control you. Islam's there to take you down and finish you. If Islam takes you down, he's going to choke you out. He's going to sub you. He's going to smash you. That's what the Nurmagomedov team does. They're not grappling to control and win a decision. They grapple to finish fights. That is what their offense is. And you're talking about a different level of animal, no disrespect, between the wrestling of Bilal Muhammad and the wrestling of Islam Makhachev. You know what Islam's going to do, and you still can't stop it. That, to me, is the highest skill set in any sport, when you know what's coming and you still can't stop it. And he's not going to be out of his depth in the stand-up either. I know he was a lightweight, but he's not going to be a lightweight on Saturday night. He will be a full welterweight, that's for sure. So be careful with all that Jack Maddalena plus money, because Islam Makhachev is still the man to beat, I think.
You and I are lockstep. I did all my tape research.
Oh, yeah, are you? I thought you were going to be
yeah.
on that dog, bro.
No. This is the hipster. I'm calling this the hipster pick, where it's
it is.
It's like
here's not to interrupt you because I want to hear your thoughts, but here's what I said. Here's who he beat: Pete Rodriguez, Ramazan Ameev, Danny Roberts, Basil Hafez, Gilbert Burns, who had lost 4 in a row. Those are the wins for JDM. Throw in Kevin Holland, who fought 37 times in the last 6 months. His only other good win was Randy Brown, who we saw get knocked out just 3 nights ago.
Yes. So
where am I wrong that Islam shouldn't be bigger favorite?
Basil Hafez took him down. Gilbert Burns by the way, he was losing that fight to Gilbert Burns till he landed the miracle knee.
A 63-year-old Gilbert Burns.
Yes. I think Makhachev, his time is coming. That is a lot of wear and tear on that body. People probably don't even realize he's 34. The training, all the fights. You got to remember, he moved weight divisions for this fight. Him and Khabib know something, and I think
they're not going to take this risk. Thank you. They're not going to take this risk.
You're not moving weight divisions to go lose to somebody. Yeah, I'm with you 100%. And yes, RJ,
they've seen his wrestling. They've seen his takedown defense, and they know they could take it down. They could take him down.
Yes, RJ, there are levels to this.
Yes, sir, RJ, yes. There are levels to this. Great point, sir.
A Bilal takedown ain't the same as an Islam Makhachev takedown. It's just not. So,
these guys, they want to know my power ratings in the NFL. I'm not sure they want to know them because I think they're going to be a little disappointed. All right, here you go. Fuck it. Top 5. My new number 1, power rating wise, my new number 1, Detroit Lions, followed by the LA Rams, followed by the 5-4 Kansas City Chiefs, followed by the Buffalo Bills, followed by Seattle. So there you go. Detroit, Rams, KC, Buffalo, Seattle, all within 2 points of each other. So the Rams on a neutral field would only be about 1.5, almost 2 versus the number 5 team, Buffalo. Those are the most info I can share with you, those golden power ratings. College football bet on it we'll go over.
Okay. All right. So Gianni, tell everyone what you have up here at WagerTalk. I know it's not so busy right now, but like we said, it's the lull before the storm.
Yep. Coming off a 3-0 sweep of 4% best bets on college basketball Saturday. 3 bets, 3-0. Fired 2 bets tonight already, 4% and a 3%. That package is up. I have a really, really, really strong lean in this NFL game. Really strong lean. If I get confirmation, I'm going to fire a big 5% play. If not, then subscribers will probably get a 3% at the most. But if I get confirmation, I really like this Monday night game. I got to see if my read's right, though. If it's right, I'm going to fire like I did yesterday's on our 5% in the Giants game. And that's what a 5% should do. We should go under 47. It should close 44.5, and it should land right on 44. That's a beautiful, beautiful under. But yeah, big week ahead. Thank you. We got the pay-per-view for Saturday. I have college football. Once again, I'm coming off a losing week in college football. Tell you when I win, tell you when I lose. We've had 12 weeks of college football. I've turned a profit in 10 of those. We'll keep that going. And of course, NFL ahead and day by day, NBA, college basketball, NHL, and anything good I could find, I'm going to fire. So best of luck to you guys. Thank you, Rob.
All right.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. Yanni, thank you so much. Great Steam report. Yanni will be back just a little bit in a couple days, and we'll get ready for a big weekend. Thank you, Yanni. All right. You asked any college football. I'll check. Not at this point, but we do have a big free play coming up in all around the world, so I promise to get you that. We're in play tonight, guys, in Monday Night Football. We do have one prop. It's very random that we're 6-2 and we won our last 3 in Monday Night Football. I don't know why, but Monday Night Football, for whatever reason, the props are really good. We've been talking about props in NBA and NHL. 13 units in November. We're still running that special, $69 for 7 days worth of props. We want to combine this NHL and NBA props into one package because we want you guys to get 7 days. Any night, hey, I could go on a losing night. Had an 0-3 night last week. So anybody that got that, I apologize, but this is why we preach 7 days, because you're with us from the beginning of the month. You're up 13 units and your bankroll is really happy. So partner up with us. We got a monster card tonight, 3 NBA plays and 2 NHL plays. That's a lot for us. So you want to get it today. You're going to get the week started off with 5 props tonight. That's over at wagertalk.com, wt.buzz/AL. NFL was going great until that damn game last night. We had a Rondé Gadsden over his receiving. He gets hurt. We had Quentin Johnson over his receiving. He goes under by 1 yard, but we're looking forward to cashing this prop tonight. So let's bring in someone else that knows a thing or two about prop. Bill, you know more than a thing or two. You know a million and two things about props. Happy Monday. How are you?
Hey, what's going on, buddy? Everything good?
Everything's great, man. It's NBA season. It's NHL season. The props are rolling in. And I actually had a friend of mine say, he's like, do you know you're just in a better mood when we have daily sports that you can play props? I was like, is that really true? He's like, yes. When you don't have daily sports and props to play, your like mood changes. So yeah, I'm happy, man. It's going great.
Props are where it's at. I mean, I not only look at my success, but I look at a couple other guys that I know that bet props, and props is where it's at. I mean, I've destroyed props so far this season. NBA props are killing it. NFL props are killing it. I preach that every single week on the show and on other shows I do. NFL sides are difficult. NBA sides, difficult. Totals even can get a little difficult. I have some success on first half things, totals. But I do a lot of them day of game based on over movement throughout the week. I always say it's so tough to beat day of game because the market's so efficient. NFL first half totals, I'm a lifetime winner doing that because of some early movement over in the week. Sometimes they don't know how to move around these key numbers. Yesterday I caught one. DraftKings FanDuel had 23.5 on the Giants first half. I don't even know how they had that. It was 22.5 everywhere. Some of the major sports books had 23.5. 1 or 2 had 23. But I even like the under 22.5. 23 is a real key number first half. But again, I was shocked to see that number at DraftKings and FanDuel, even up until kickoff. Shocked. So a lot of these big sports books, like the DraftKings and FanDuels, they will keep the number high because they know what the public does. They know the public loves to bet over on things, and it's just a built-in moneymaker for them. They are customers that just don't bet under and don't bet underdogs, by the way, on anything. So I get it. I'm glad we can pick them apart, but nothing like the NFL props. As anyone has seen that has been with me this season in the NFL, especially the NBA, the last few weeks, we're destroying props. And thank God there's market for props because, some of these idiot players taking money, the sports books were threatening to not have props anymore. But the reason why they will always have props, because they always win. They always win. There's a sports book I bet with. I'm not going to say who. I try to bet prop. It actually should be illegal what they do, but good luck finding a gaming agent that knows what 11 to 10 is. Never mind what I want to show them. So, Andy, I'm allowed to bet over. I'm allowed to bet $2,000, and under on. I'm allowed to bet $1,000. That's insane. But my max bet for the over is 2,000, and my max bet for the under is 1,000. So just think about that. Just think, and it's not just a random game or two or a random week or two. This has been since the beginning of NFL season. It's actually crazy. I don't even question it because, to be honest with you, to be able to get down a dime is a lot of money on a prop or 2 dimes. So I'm lucky I have 4 or 5 spots in town here. I can cumulatively get down a decent bet. 3,000-4,000 if I want something on a prop, which I try to bet the most I can. But luckily for the WagerTalk guys, I give them to them first. I don't front run. It doesn't look like to me that they're moving to my Vegas market. So I have no problem giving them out first. Even if they did move a little bit, it's a win for me because I know I'm going to, keep their loyalty and keep their business. It's almost like winning the prop, betting the prop. You follow? So.
Well, let's talk about a prop. Let's go to the NBA. I mean, this is what we love about props. There's a million of them, so you can find just a ton of them. What's one prop that you're on for tonight?
Yeah, I'm going to give you guys an NBA prop. Darius Garland, assist over 6.5 plus 0.5. I also am looking at the market over 5.5 minus 155. I hate laying that much juice, but it's you only have so many assists. I have no problem with you doing it. So we're going to over 6.5 plus 0.5, over 5.5 minus 55. I'm looking at 2 different sports books. He's back to being 100%. Should get his full minutes tonight versus the Heat. Huge total, 247.5. My God. So plenty of assist opportunities by that, the total being so high. Fast-paced game. The Heat, they should double on drives and the hoop, forcing Garland to pass the ball some. And pass out to the open 3-point guys. So big high scoring game here tonight. Let's go over Darius Garland, 6.5 assists tonight in the game. There's a freebie for everyone.
Yeah, he struggled in his first game back, but it looked great in his last game. That Cavs team is back. I'll be breaking down that. I should be breaking down that game a little bit later. The total's insane. 247.5.
Unbelievable.
Makes sense.
I weighed 247.5. That's just it's coincidence. So
yeah. I've gotten this question quite a bit about parlaying props. I never parlay props. Do you only single your props?
Listen, it's a great question. And I can't believe it took this long in my career even for someone to ask that. Whoever asked that, thank you very much for asking that question. Yes, of course I would like to parlay props. Unfortunately, if you parlay props, you're probably going to be limited or even thrown out. And I say thrown out, limited to $10 because we're already going to win betting props lifetime. Bookmakers already know they're scared to death of props. Even the local guys now who use the PPHs, the PPH sites in far off places, the guys in there, they're making $3-4 an hour. Minimum wage is $3 an hour in certain places. These guys, all they see is someone betting props. Now, their job is to alert the bookmaker, the person who's actually booking those bets, hey, this guy's betting props. So now they see parlays of props and they're accumulators. So someone that would parlay, 3 or 4 props together, they would see, you're making big scores. They're probably going to limit or throw you out. Listen, they're advantage bets. Of course, I think parlays are the biggest sucker bet. Not only me, they're giant sucker bets. However, when you're betting advantage things, they're not. So if I'm betting overnight basketball, let's say I'm betting 3 games, all 3 is -3. The next day, I know they're going to be -4, -4.5, and 5. I have an edge on that parlay. So, of course, by me betting that, I have an edge on that parlay. But I don't recommend anyone to do that because it's only going to bring heat on your accounts, or better yet, it's going to make you bet parlays on other things, which is a loser. No way. So, parlays, I know everyone loves to do it. I have my doctors, my dentists, my people around me, friends, guys I'm on shows with. I do nationwide show on Fox. My co-host played in the NFL 8 years. He's a great guy. Loves to bet the parlays, though. I almost waved a white towel. I said, listen, go ahead. You want to bet a parlay? If you bet $100 per game, is that your number? I have no problem on you betting a $5 5-teamer. I don't do it, but they're going to do it anyway. So I try to tell them to do it percentage of bankroll. So I would just go straight on your props. If you start parlaying props, even at the legal licensed sports books, you will definitely be limited. That's what I got myself in trouble for, 2 years ago, parlaying props. But if you have a dummy account, what I mean is you have an account that you're betting 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 NFL straight plays on a Sunday, they're going to see that, and they're going to say, well, this guy's losing anyway on NFL. He bets NFL. Yeah, give him the parlay props. So I don't recommend it, though. It's a great question. I'm surprised no one ever asked me.
Yeah, I haven't gotten it asked, and this is like the third time in the last couple of weeks that I've been asked about it. So, and Justin brings up a good point. Yeah, I'm talking about the main sports like NBA, NHL, MLB, NFL. We do a lot of more obscure props, so you'll see tennis parlays and different things like that. So
I don't recommend those NFL, NBA. Listen, props are for suckers. 60 to 70% of these sports books in their earnings report, their public companies show where they make their money. That's where they're making their money. They show that every quarter, every year. A lot of these things, the public just loves doing. Gianni said something before. Oh boy, teasing college football, teasing NFL totals. Listen, these are all losing things long term. Short term, you can win, have some fun with it, I guess. But I just know what happens in the end. I've worked with the sharpest syndicate groups in the world, like Gianni has. I don't even talk to Gianni. I've talked to him once in my life. I don't really talk to Gianni. So, and nothing against it. We just haven't got together yet. He's right here in Vegas, too. I'm surprised we haven't. But, we've seen what happens. We've had guys that are the sharpest mathematical, analytical guys in the world, model-based driven guys. And they've tried it. They've tried beating teasers on totals in the NFL. They've tried beating teasers in college football. No, absolutely not. Don't do it. Don't do it. It looks easy, I understand. And especially when you win, it looks easy. But look at your results, what it would have been without the extra 6 or 7 points in teasing totals. You probably would have won that too. But now you're laying 13 to 10, 14 to 10, 15 to 10. In town here, there's 16 to 10. You have to lay $1.60 to win 100 on a 7-point teaser at a couple shops. Impossible to beat. Even if you're betting the Wong teasers around the key numbers in the NFL. Impossible to beat.
You got any thoughts on Monday Night Football tonight?
Listen, I have a play up there at WagerTalk. You look at this game here. I'm trying to find someone else on the other side. I'm going to find someone on Green Bay sooner or later. I know one thing. As of right now, the sports books are on Green Bay. But now that they're bringing it down to pick 'em, they're going to get some two-way action. They just don't want it to land on one or two. And, I interview the head of BetMGM every Sunday on my Fox show. He's the head of risk for the entire company. He gave me some 85 and 90%. 90% of the public had Buffalo yesterday. This was an hour before the game. They're like games like, I always say, God protects the bookmaker. 90% of people had Buffalo. They lost outright. 80% he lost this game. Detroit. 80% had Detroit, so he lost that game. Big Michigan presence, though, for BetMGM. And he had a 75%. I just can't think what it was. There was a third game. There was a 75%. So I don't like all these places that use splits that say 60% of the money's on this, 80%. I don't want to know in print. I don't want to know it's not up to date. I don't want to know. When I talk to a head of risk, which I do every single Sunday morning, an hour and a half before the games, I know that what he's saying is factual and law. Whenever he says something's 80%, I'll tell you, in the beginning of the season, though, they got whacked because Detroit covered a couple times, like the week 2 and 3. But the 85%, oh my God, it's just money. It's just money betting against the public. And I don't say always bet against the public, but right now the public is all over the Eagles here. But however, now that Green Bay's the lines come down to pick them, that's going to probably even up there. So, and just because it's on, TV, guys, you don't have to bet the side. There's props. There's some other things. I wouldn't recommend live wagering. Live wagering is the crack cocaine of gambling at double the juice. So just make sure you know that. You're going to bet live. You're going to bet double the juice. And you're going to be against, that's right, I said it, cheating sports books. That's right. Because you're under a 60-second delay where they can deny your bet when it's put in a queue. They can deny the winners and take the losers. I'm not saying which ones, but it goes on. It happened out here in Vegas. They threw the sports book out of town. Took them a couple years and about $40 million in fines, but they threw Cantor Gaming out of town. One of the reasons they were cheating on live wagering with the delay. I know the kid that was back there. He actually said it. He didn't know. He thought his job was to deny. They have first and goal. The team scores. If someone's betting the team that scores, he denies the wager. Someone bet the other team, he takes the wager. That's cheating. But how can gaming police that? I'm telling you, that's how hard it is for gaming to police that. They'd have to see firsthand and understand the dynamics and the moving parts of the game to understand what the bookmakers are doing. Now, again, I'm not saying all the bookmakers are doing it, and I'm not saying 90% are doing it. But you can guarantee there's books out there that are absolutely cheating.
I tried live betting like 4 or 5 years ago on NFL. Oh my Lord, that is a great way to nuke a bankroll. That is just, I don't have the secret sauce. I could live bet UFC till the cows come home. Yeah. Me trying to bet NFL was an unmitigated disaster. I haven't done it.
You're on a 60-second delay, and you're at the mercy of double the juice too. You're paying a lot more than pre-flop juice.
Yeah, that's tough. Be careful with live betting. So we talk about it all the time. All right, Bill, what do you have up for everyone at WagerTalk?
Hey, there's my packages are up there. I recommend getting at least a week package. I'm looking at the prices. NBA 21-9 run. Yeah, they keep track of this though. I know we were 158 and 112 plus 37.6 units last NBA season. The props, it's props. I don't bet sides or totals. It's props. So we have them loaded today. And like I said, you want to get in more than just a daily package where, like Andy, you said the other day that you had an 0-3, but yet for the week you're balanced out or winning. You have to go long term here. So I would recommend anyone to go for at least a week package, a month package. So lock me up through the Super Bowl. I say it all the time. You're going to get all these props, all these Super Bowl props and everything involved. And, listen, I hate to be so arrogant, but I'm not going to lose on props. Props I'm going to kill. It's the reason why I get thrown out of so many sports books.
Love it, Bill. Thank you very much. So happy.
Thank you, guys.
Prop better. Thank you, Bill Krackman, everybody. Let's do let's go to where the books won, where the public won. We got some prop winners and losers. We normally do overreaction, but we're in week 10. We're done with the overreaction. So I'm changing this to questions. And Steve Merril is on deck. So Steve, if you have answers to these questions that we're going to go over. The first question, was that the Jetsiest thing ever? We talked about this on Friday. The Jets trade their defense, acquire draft picks, and then promptly score 2 special team touchdowns to win and worsen their draft position. To me, it was one of the Jetsiest things I've ever seen. Are we not talking enough about Jonathan Taylor's season? Through 10 games, he has 1,139 rushing yards and 15 TDs, and he's added 30 receptions and 260 yards, 2 TDs. People are talking about it, but I'm just wondering if we're not talking enough about it. What do we make of the Bills? So they beat the Chiefs and they get boat raced by the Dolphins. I cannot figure out the Bills. I will not have a bet on a Buffalo Bill player or anything involved the Buffalo Bills for the rest of the season. I cannot figure them out. Here's an interesting one. Put in the chat or the comment section about this one. This is my favorite one. Are the Seahawks Rams the best 1-2 combo in any division? Your competition for that is Pats Bills, Steelers Ravens, Broncos Chargers, and Packers Lions. That Packers Lions could be there, but right now Seahawks Rams, it may be the best 1-2 combination in any division. So let me know what you think of those questions. Let's go to where the books won, where the public won. Browns and Jets under 37, big winner for the book. Buffalo. The books probably made How much did they make on Buffalo yesterday? And then the Jags Texans under looked like it was going to be a sure thing until it wasn't. Where the public won, Ravens were big. Giants Bears under was big. Lions minus the point was big, and Rams minus the point was minus points were big winners for the public. But that Buffalo one, the teasers, the money line parlays, the survivor, just absolute bloodbath. Let's go to props and fantasy football winners, losers. Jonathan Taylor, of course, continues to be a winner. Drake London has been awesome the last couple weeks. Devon Achane had a huge game. If you went against him in fantasy, I feel bad for you. Jalen Naylor starting to come alive here for the Vikings, and we'll get to the other 2 wide receivers and the losers. Jerry Jeudy had a really good game. He's been non-existent, but he's kind of come alive. And Travion Henderson, this guy was like the absolute epitome of the fantasy and props loser, and now he's just like the ultimate winner. He looks great. Mac Hollins, with those injuries, he has the big game. Chris Olave showed a pulse. He looked good. Davis Mills and Nico Collins put up big. Trey McBride continues to be a little bit underrated. I'm not sure why I didn't play his overs with Jacoby Brissett at quarterback. Kicking myself for that one. Stafford, Kyron Williams, Devontae, and Puka all become they're wagons, man. And then Mac Jones, Kittle, Jennings were big winners, and Jahmyr Gibbs had the huge game. Fantasy losers, Kyle Monangai. What are the Bears doing? This guy goes for 176 yards, and then we barely give him the ball. Thank you very much. James Cook was pretty tough. That was a rough game. And Jordan Addison, Justin Jefferson. We talked about Justin Jefferson being a little worried. Now I'm terrified. JJ McCarthy, not sure if he's targeting him. They seem to lock him down. There were some incomplete passes that I wonder if another quarterback would have completed them. But Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson have fallen off a cliff since the quarterback change. Justin Fields, I mean, at one point he had -5 passing yards and they had 14 points. I don't know how that's possible. Tez Johnson could be a big winner if this Chris Godwin injury, if he doesn't come back. Tez Johnson had a couple of touchdowns, and then the Steelers. My God, that was pathetic last night. Absolutely awful. If you had any Steelers in fantasy, you are upset this morning. So, all right, let's bring in Steve Merril. Steve, you got a lot, but a lot to do on this show. We gave you a plethora of games. Was that the jetsiest thing ever yesterday?
Well, it went a little early still in early November, but I think one of the best betting angles in the NFL in December is to just play on those nothing teams that have absolutely nothing to play for against teams that have something to play for. And you get a couple points of line value, first of all. And that's why fading the public works long-term, is because the lines are inflated. And we see that all the time. It was the Houston Texans a couple years ago. They won. They would have had the number 1 pick. They won, I think, the final week. Carolina lost, and they get Bryce Young. The Texans get Stroud. They make the playoffs like a year later. So teams continue to play hard. There's maybe one team that kind of quits on the season. And by the way, that might be not my Washington Commanders. Our season win total is looking pretty good, Andy Lang. What are they at? 8 losses now? No, 7 losses. I need them to get to 8 losses to cash. I think we're in pretty good shape. What do you say?
You're in great shape, my friend. Yeah. You never want to count the money before the bet cashes, but I'm pretty sure you can.
And what's so crazy, we talked about it last week. It's like part of that handicap was that Daniels might get hurt. I mean, I liked it even if he played healthy, because I thought they were vastly overrated. They made a huge jump, but then that was just icing on the cake. And I don't want to say I wanted to see him get hurt. I like Jaden Daniels. I think he's a hell of a player, but that was somewhat predictable. So yeah, that's why these season wins, and like Crack said, props can be great. Love what he said about the in-game betting. I've never liked it as well. I've never messed with it. The main reason for me is because of the delay and the 30-cent lines. I had not heard that story about voiding winning bets. That's awful. Does not surprise me. And also with the teasers, we don't release them anymore because they've been priced out. When I started 30 years ago in the late 90s, you could get even money 6-point teasers. Pretty easy pickings. And even at -110 for decades, it was a good deal. But now -130, -140, -150. The average bettor does not respect juice. I used to love the offshore days where you get -105 on both sides, -103. And what's crazy is nobody cares about that. And they'll lay 30-cent lines. And sports betting's really changed now because of all this legalization.
Well, let's get into a couple of games. Let's start with the big one, Monday Night Football. Eagles versus Packers. It's going to be cold, but it doesn't look like there's precipitation or too much wind. So what's your breakdown on Eagles-Packers? Monster game in the NFC.
Yeah, so Crack just talked about what the bookmakers said were really public on Sunday. I had the same information. I told you my fade the public video. The Lions are the most public play this week, but I did not want to fade them coming off a loss against not my Washington Commanders who are at a tailspin. Buffalo Bills were very public as well. We saw how that turned out. Some of those other games, Seattle cashed yesterday as a public side, but both Carolina and what's the other one? I got it right here. The Colts. Colts were 6.5. They win by 6 in overtime. So that once again, that inflated line because of the public side made the difference in the Germany game. Fade the public was 9-3 the last 2 weeks, 3-2 yesterday. So now 12-5. And we got one more public play remaining this week. And this is the public dog of the week. And that's ding, ding, red flag alert, Philadelphia Eagles. Now, they're not much of a public dog, about +1 to +2 all week. This game might very well go off at Pick'em, but they are still a public dog, and it's very one-sided. And I don't mind backing the Green Bay Packers here. I still think they're one of the best teams in the NFL, and had some people comment in my free play videos. And don't forget, click subscribe, click that bell for instant alerts. I do all the Sunday night, Monday night games. Gave you the Chargers last night for free in my Sunday night video. And by the way, that was a best bet for my clients. Sometimes these TV games make the best bet card. 3-0 sweep on Sunday in the NFL. Gave you a free play video on this one as well for Monday Night Football. Also talked about it in my Fade the Public video. And one thing I like about fading public dogs, and one of the reasons it's 67% this season on the blind and it's worked for decades, is because you get a quality team. Like, I wasn't looking to fade the public with the Commanders yesterday or in the Seattle game, or even really with the Carolina game, you were taking the Saints. So, I don't like ugly teams, but we're getting a quality team here in Green Bay. And yes, they've lost twice this year. Somebody commented in one of the videos, are they really the best team in the league if you lose to Carolina and Cleveland? Well, look at the situational setup in those two games. First of all, we had a strong client best bet on the Browns back in week 3. That also made the Fade the Public video, as Green Bay was a heavy public side. Green Bay was coming off the big win against the Detroit Lions to open the season, huge divisional win. And then that Thursday night home game against the Commanders, who everyone thought were good at the time, except for me. I knew better. And then they had the sandwich spot because the following week after Cleveland, they had the Sunday night game at Dallas. And they actually led most of that Cleveland game, but they came up flat, only scored 10 points. And now looky here, flat spot last week against Carolina. They had the Sunday night come from behind win against Pittsburgh on the road against Aaron Rodgers. The look ahead to this Monday night game against the Eagles, the Super Bowl champs. And they laid another egg last week at home as a 2-touchdown favorite. They only scored 13 points against Carolina. So it's really been a bad offensive showing in those two losses. Their other 6 games this season, they have scored 27 points or more in all 6 games. And I think the Eagles' defense is down a notch this year. Fade the public if you want, but I also think the Packer team total over 23.5 makes a lot of sense tonight. This Eagle defense is weaker than last season. And let's just do the basic math here. The Eagles on the season are giving up over 23 points a game. The Packers' offense is averaging almost 26 points a game. And they've scored, as I said, 27 or more in all 6 games that they haven't lost this season. I like Green Bay team total over 23.5 for Monday Night Football tonight on Monday.
All right, Steve, we got breaking news. If one of the questions coming out of week 10 was, will Brian Daboll be fired? The answer is yes. Now, Question, Steve. Do you think he got fired because of the team's performance and blowing leads in the fourth quarter? Or do you think he got fired because they kept running Jackson Dart into the teeth of the defense and they finally got him hurt?
Yeah.
If I was an owner, I'd be a lot more mad about that.
I think he got fired for he routinely went into the concussion tent. I thought that was the first red flag. This guy was full energy, man. I'm a little surprised. A few weeks ago, especially when they beat the Eagles on Thursday Night Football, I would never have thought he'd be fired by like the second week of November. It looked like they were trending in the right direction. I agree with you on the Jackson Dart situation, but the other thing is I think they want to maybe get someone in there, an offensive-minded, young, like OC, quarterback-type guy because of Jackson Dart. He does appear to maybe be the real deal. He had a great preseason, and he seems like a pretty sharp kid as well. So my guess is they're going to bring in an offensive-minded head coach here at some point in the future.
Just how about a minded head coach?
I don't disagree. That guy's full energy, and I respect full energy, Andy. You know that, but he was like getting kicked out of the concussion tent in that Eagle game. That was pretty comical.
Yeah, both stars are out now. I mean,
correct.
Both these guys getting hurt was about as predictable as it gets. But come on, Jackson Dart, slide, run out of bounds, don't run into the line.
But once again, going back to the Jaden Daniels situation, right? That's why that was a predictable injury. And we talked about it last week. You got a guy that's skinnier than you and me running the ball every other play. It's not going to end well. We saw it with RG3 a decade ago. History doesn't always repeat, but it rhymes. It rhymes.
Let's move to college basketball. Mississippi State versus Iowa State. I do not follow those teams. Educate me. What do you know about these teams? And what are we doing with this 5.5 point spread, 150.5 total?
Yes, Iowa State's a top 20 program. Should be one of the better squads in the country this year. And this is a neutral site, which is important. The Sanford Pentagon, which is in Sioux Falls. So unusual location, a true neutral court for both teams. I mean, maybe Iowa State travels a little bit, but I don't know. But I think it's a true neutral court. We see no movement on the point spread. It opened 5.5. It's holding 5.5. We have seen some sharp money coming on the under in this one. 153 down to 150, 150.5. So a little bit of sharp money on the under. I think that makes sense based being a neutral site and maybe the sight lines. And I also feel like Iowa State relies more on the 3-point shot than Mississippi State does. So I actually lean dog here. I think Iowa State probably wins this game by a basket or so, but the line looks inflated to me. I would make the line around 3 or 4. Mississippi State also has a strong 3-point percentage defense, and I think they match up well in this game. So on the neutral court, unusual surroundings, I'd rather have the Mississippi State squad as an underdog in a pretty close game, which I think has a better chance of scoring down low. Interior defense, by the way, they have one of the top 22-point defenses in the nation based on my ratings. And Iowa State might not be as strong from 3-point range as they need to be. So we've seen some sharp money on the under in this one, but I think that also the matchup and the situation favors Mississippi State as a live dog plus 5.5. Once again, neutral court in Sioux Falls. That's at 8 o'clock Eastern tonight on Monday. And don't forget, if you want all my free, I'm not doing a ton of college basketball free play videos right now, but if you want the free play videos and when they do pop like this one, just click subscribe on WagerTalk TV and click that bell for an instant alert. And I do post a lot of basketball best bets and bonus free plays on my page, Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com, wt.buzz/SM.
All right. We got, this is great. Lane Kiffin to the Dolphins. We're already predicting the next coach. Oh, great. Jeff Fisher. Oh my Lord.
Do you think Lane Kiffin would go back to the NFL? I can't imagine. Well, I don't know. Anything's possible, but not likely.
Yeah. I would say unlikely. I think he kind of likes where he's at right now.
I do too.
All right, let's go to the NBA. Bucks, Mavericks. This Mavericks team is kind of interesting. I thought the expectations were a little too high for this team without Kyrie Irving. I mean, they don't have a point guard. They just don't. Like, they're trying to have Cooper Flagg do this. That's not what he does. I think they're clunky, but I think they'll get better. And this Bucks team, I don't know if you've watched Giannis. This guy is on a mission this year. He's like kind of that point where he's unstoppable. It kind of comes and goes, but he looks absolutely insane right now. How do you break down this Bucks Mavericks game?
Yeah, welcome to the NBA. As always, load management, players questionable, and a lot of uncertainty in this game tonight at 8:40 Eastern, Milwaukee and Dallas. As of the 12:30 Eastern NBA updated injury report, the Bucks have yet to submit. The Davis injury is listed as questionable for the Mavericks. Kyrie Irving remains out, Lively doubtful. This has been a shorthanded team all season. That's one of the reasons they're off to a 3-7 straight up start. But while the Bucks haven't released their injury report and Giannis has been playing incredible this year, this is a back-to-back situation as the Bucks last night had to play in Houston. I believe he logged around 36 minutes, a home game against Houston. Now they travel without rest to Dallas, and they're playing, by the way, their third game in 4 nights after beating the Bulls on Friday, lost at home to Houston. Haven't seen the injury report yet, but I would not be shocked if Giannis is on it or limited at some point. So keep an eye on it. The betting markets have gone from Bucks 2.5 road favorite down to 2 at some of the sharper books. So I think they're starting to indicate that might be the case. I'm not going to play the guessing game whether Giannis is in, Anthony Davis is in. He's questionable. But if either one of them misses, there is some size missing down low, and we could see a little bit of a track meet here. And I actually think the over could be in play because of that. This total opened 231.5. It's down to 229.5 now. Some of the sharper books, though, are still holding 230. Pinnacle is still holding at 230. Keep an eye on the injury report. I'm doing this, mid-afternoon for you to get it out as a free opinion, free information. But I would lean over 229.5 in this game. And if Davis misses, I actually like it a little bit more because he's a good defensive presence down low. And we all know how it works. If one of the stars is out at the last minute, you probably come in on Milwaukee at an underdog price maybe at that point and the over. It's just amazing how that works in the NBA. But I do think the Greek could be a little limited tonight after third game in 4 nights, no rest, and playing a lot yesterday against Houston. We'll look for a little bit of an up and down track meet in this. Some small ball over 229.5 between the Bucks and Mavericks tonight on Monday.
Someone in our chat a while back said that they were going to track when a star gets ruled out, and then how many times did they cover? because the markets just completely overreact. And then the guy that comes in to sub for him, the other team's not ready. There's a letdown. The guy's motivated. So you're getting his best
Correct.
effort. It'd be really, really interesting.
No, Andy, real quick on that. I actually, coming into the NBA season this year, that was my game plan, to just blindly play. I've tracked it for a few years. It's been 67% the last few seasons.
Wow.
But it's a few different catalysts you have to put. First of all, I think it really has to be somewhat sudden. It has to be like the day of, and it has to be the first game. And there's reasons for that, because first of all, it catches the other team off guard. They haven't game planned necessarily for the other guys. And it does, like you say, give kind of a quick spark to the locker room, I believe. And these are all college All-Americans for the most part. They can score in their sleep, and it does work. The problem is, as for my clients at WagerTalk, I'm putting my plays out right around now, like around noon Eastern. It's very difficult to come back at 5 or 6 o'clock at night, 2 hours before the game, and tell people, hey, go play this. So that's why it's really hard to do it. But hey, as a sports bettor out there, this is a way to build your bankroll. Don't be afraid to play those teams. And also the reason it works is because the lines usually get shifted 5, 6, 7 points. And it doesn't even come close. These teams win outright sometimes. So put part of it on the money line at plus money. It's a great kind of fade the public mentality that continues to work. And it will continue to work when the lines get adjusted. So it's something that has not been accounted for by the betting markets.
Absolutely. Steve Merril, what do you have up for everyone at WagerTalk?
This is a great time of year to be an all-sport, all-access client. Great time of the year to be an all-sport, all-access client, as we have 4 major sports going all at once right now: college and pro football and college and pro basketball on a daily basis. Normally 7 days is $99, but I've got a promo code that's still applying for about one more day this week, and that's 7 days for just $79. Full details are on the website right now, stevemerril.wagertalk.com. That promo code is PLAYS7, PLAYS 7. You see it on our screen. Our producer, Dan Alexander, is quick at the switch. He's the best. PLAYS7. You go get the 7 day for $99, but at checkout, use PLAYS7, and you'll get it for just $79. It's a great way to try out 7 days, all access, college and pro football and basketball. Or if you want 30 days of basketball, I have a 30-day combo for just $189. B-Ball 30, BBALL 30, B-Ball 30. You see it on the screen there. Gets you college and pro. Now, each is usually $189. You get them both for $189. Select the combo and at checkout, use B-Ball 30. Get them both for $189. That's 30 days of basketball. Or real quick, the final promo code, no promo code needed actually. The final special offer is on my page right now, is a 1-year instant $500 discount, all access pass. Yes, that gets all of college and pro football and basketball for the next year. It also gets all of next year's baseball season. Don't forget, we went 11-2 in the baseball playoffs this year that just finished. Can't wait for next year's baseball season. 365 days, all access, instant $500 discount, bonus 25% coupon. Works out to about $1 a play, and there's no promo code needed. It's on my page right now, right above the daily free play. Check the bonus free play. It's the last cut from my best bet card, hitting over 70% of the free plays over the past month. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. Get there quicker with shortcut WT.buzz/SM.
Great work, Steve Merril. Great breakdowns. Thank you very much. And as always, Steve crushes it with that Fade the Public video, one of the best videos that we have on the website. You can get notified when he releases that video if you subscribe to the channel. We're up almost to 250,000 subscribers. What are you waiting for? If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. That way you get all notifications when we go live. Hit the like button as well. All right, let's do a slew of free plays here. Let's go all around the world, and then let's break down the Cavaliers at the Heat. We're going to go to a player prop for tonight, Packers-Eagles, Josh Jacobs, over 2.5 receptions. He's gone over this in 5 out of the last 6 games. He's getting 4 targets in those games. For whatever reason, he's involved in the passing game, so we'll take his over 2.5 receptions. Ralph Michaels special. We're going with another blowout. UConn minus 33.5 against Columbia. UConn coming off a 110-47 win against UMass Lowell. Columbia won their first game of the season. They beat a team called New Haven. That is a team that is the number 364 ranked KenPom team. So Ralph likes the UConn to lay the wood tonight. And then we'll go to the NBA Suns, Pelicans, Royce O'Neal over 2.5 made 3-pointers. He's gone over in 8 out of 10 games this season. He's averaging 8.3 3-point attempts and he's shooting 43.4%. Those numbers hold up tonight. He's going to go over again. And someone already mentioned the chat how bad the Pelicans are. 23rd in 3-point defense. So he's playing 29 minutes per game. Should get plenty of looks. All right, let's go break down Cavaliers and Heat real quick. Cavaliers and Heat, we have a monster total in this one of 247.5. Cleveland is -7.5. You can find some -8s out there. Let's go over some stats here, and I'll tell you why I like the Heat to cover this spread, and then I'll give you some player props. Miami is number 1 in pace. Cleveland is number 4. Miami number 9 in offensive efficiency, slightly better than Cleveland. Cleveland comes in at 12, and believe it or not, Miami a little better on defense. Defensive efficiency, number 6 in the league. Cleveland is number 9. Miami this is just what Miami does. They go get Norm Powell. Norm Powell's giving him 23 points a night. Bam's giving him 20. Andrew Wiggins looks not like the elite Andrew Wiggins, but he's giving them 17 points a night. And Haka's coming off the bench, just a monster, 17, 7, and 5 coming off the bench. So they've got players. Spoelstra continues to be one of the best coaches in the league. Darius Garland is back for Cleveland. He shook off the rust in his first game, played 28 minutes in the second game, had 20 points, and Donovan Mitchell's having a big season. He's averaging over 30 points, but Miami is second best in defending point guards. Here's the key. This is why I like Miami. This Miami Heat team is 4-0 at home, and I don't think they've won a road game. So they love playing at home, and the Cavs are only 3-2 on the road. Cavs could win this and not cover. This number is too big. I'm going to take the Miami Heat and the points. If you're looking for some player props, Sam Merril over 9.5 points. This is a client play under the last game, but he went over the first 6 games of the season. He's shooting 57% from the field. He is lights out from three-pointers, so we'll take his over 9.5 points. Lonzo Ball over 7.5 rebounds plus assists. This is pretty easy. He's gone over every game this season. 9.4 potential assists, 7.5 rebound chances. And Nikola Jovic under 12.5 points. He's coming off a 29-point game. Don't be fooled by that. Before that, he had 12-plus points one time this season. NBA and NHL prop special is up $69 to get you 7 days of props. This is how I build bankroll. We talk about it all the time. We're up 13 units just in the month of November. We're 15-8 to start the NBA season. We're number 1 in NBA props the last 2 seasons. You guys hear me talk about it all the time. But we got 5 plays that are up tonight. So you want to use this special. You're going to get the week started off with 3 NBA plays and 2 NHL plays. That is up at WagerTalk.com. Get there quicker with shortcut wt.buzz/AL. All right, guys, great show. I know we went a little long, but tons of great information, good discussion, and thank you to you guys in the chat. Please hit the like button. I know someone asked about asking Ralph Michaels if he can do a chart. I will message Ralph right now and see if he can pull that off for you. Again, leave in the comment section, was that the jetsiest thing you've ever seen yesterday? We're going to be back tomorrow, same time, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. We have a big Monday night football game. Can't wait to see if we cash some tickets in that one. Good luck on your bets tonight. Take care.